Okay, beautiful people. So this is not an original recipe of mine. It is a recipe that I really love. All right, so what you're gonna use is coconut, young coconut. Right, you gotta have the young coconut because you want to have the meat of the coconut. And how you're gonna open it is, I already opened it. I did a lot of pre-prepping, so that way I won't waste you guys' time. So you're just gonna hit it, keep hitting, keep hitting. Look how I damaged the coconut, my lovely coconut. Keep hitting, and then finally it will open. And then I already scooped out the meat and put it in the blender for the most part. And then, you know, you have your meat of your coconut and you put it in there in your blender, right? So what does coconut help us out with? Coconut balances potassium levels, keep blood pressure at a healthy level. I have notes, so that's what I'm looking at. But coconut is good for you, okay? So that's it. That's the rest of my coconut. Ugh. And what I hate is that it gets stuck, like, you know, with this part of it and stuff gets stuck. So you kind of like really have to be careful so that way you don't blend that. Can't eat that. That's not digestible. Okay. And then what do we have? Celery. Look how beautiful and green this is. Can you see? It's so lovely. Now, I'm really not such a huge celery fan, but the recipe actually calls for half of the packet. This is less than half of the packet, right? So you're gonna take your celery, chop it, and you're gonna put it in your blender with the meat, with the coconut meat, right? And also your coconut water, I sifted the water out so I can catch whatever. And it looks like one of them escaped. Shucky ducky. If you was feeding this to somebody, don't put your little nasty hands in there. But I'm not feeding it to anybody but myself. But you take the water, right? It's so good. And you put it in your blender. Pour it in. Okay, and then the recipe also calls for Brazil nuts. And it calls for half a cup of it. So you're gonna put your Brazil nuts. And recipe calls for salt. I'm using sea salt, but you can use whatever salt you want. And then just a pinch of salt. A pinch it, that's it. And then the recipe calls for some olive oil. So you're just gonna put a little bit of olive oil. Now I have done this, I made this recipe before. It calls for 1/8, right? Of olive oil. But the thing is, the recipe also calls for onion, like 1/4 of the onion, a fourth of an onion. I don't like it with the onion. I've tried it and I didn't like it, so that's why I did not add it in this particular batch. But if you like onion, I love onion, but I just didn't like it for this recipe. But if you want to try with onion, go right ahead. So I'm gonna blend this up, right? And I'm not gonna blend it for you guys to hear. So I'm going to pause it, okay? So I'm done blending. And then you have your, you see the celery is so green, it turned it green. You have your coconut chowder. This thing is so good. I love it. I'm sorry. I should have had a spoon. Anyway, let me see. Yeah, see, the celery is very strong. But it's really nice though. You should give it a try. Ciao.